Hi folks, in this brief tutorial I'm going to show you how you can program or create your P5 JavaScript files using an editor such as Atom. So in this tutorial we are going to be using Atom. I really like Atom as far as a programming environment. It actually is basically just a text editor that people have contributed to and it's given it additional functionality. So you can create HTML files, you can create JavaScript files, you can do Python, you can do pretty much whatever you want. And it's made by the fine folks at GitHub. So it's a fantastic program. So let's get started, shall we? The first thing you're going to need to do is you can follow the links that are provided in the tutorial, and you're going to head over to the atom.io website, and when you get there, you should see a link for whatever platform it is that you're using. So if you're using Windows 32-bit, that should show up there. Whatever platform you're using should show up. But if you find that it's wrong, then you can just click on the other platforms link right here and download the one that you need. Once you install the file, I already have it installed, so I'm not going to go through that process. Once you've downloaded it and you start to install it, you should see an image like this one on your screen. And it doesn't really look like it's doing anything, but it actually is installing. So it's not going to give you any options as far as where do you want to install it. So whether you want to put it on a C drive or a different partition, it's just going to do its thing and it's going to install. So if that's what you need to do, if you do not have it installed already, go ahead and pause the video now, install Atom, and then start up again once you're done. And if you're still listening, you must have it already installed. So that's fantastic. Once you have Atom installed, it probably should launch on its own, but if not, you can just open it up and you might see a whole bunch of tabs open up here, and you can go ahead and just close them all. It gets a little bit, I find, a little bit strenuous. You get a whole bunch of windows open, so I just close them all. And because this is just a text editor, it's nothing fancy, we're going to have to add some additional functionality to it, and these are known as packages. And if you just click the settings button right here, it looks like a gear. We're just going to click on that and we're going to head down to install. So notice I said we're going to install packages. There is a link there that says packages. Those are for what ones you already have installed. So we're going to head down to the install package. Now all of these are listed in the comments of the video, but these are the 4 that you're going to find very beneficial for what it is that we're going to be creating. So because we're creating P5 files, P5 JavaScript files, if you type P5 and click on the packages button, you're going to find P5 XJS autocomplete. Now you can see here I have the option to uninstall or disable it because I already have it installed. If you don't already have it installed, you'll see an install button and you can go ahead and install that package now. Once you have it installed, you can actually click on the description of the package and it will tell you what it does. So it shows you here that what it's going to do basically is when you type out things in P5, it's going to autocomplete things for you. So if it recognizes the word, it's going to say, much like you might in a web browser when you're doing a search, is this the word you want to use? So it's going to autocomplete words for you. And that's kind of nice if you forget, the case sensitivity of it. Was it uppercase, lowercase? I don't remember this word. So it's kind of nice to have that as a package to install. So once you have that installed, I'm going to go back over to install, and I'm going to install these final 3 packages. So the first one is called minimap. And when I click packages, you should see the very first one that comes up is minimap. So you can go ahead and install that one as well. And what's really cool about that, you'll see that later, is over here on the right hand side, when we're working with really long chunks of code, it gives you a small map view so you can scroll really, really quickly. So if you had multiple lines of code, and we're talking about pages of it, you could scrub through them very quickly. And this will become more apparent in a little bit. After you install minimap, the next one you're going to want to install actually is minimap-highlight-selected. And you're going to see why that's beneficial a little bit later, so we can actually highlight certain areas and take a look at if it's used in other places of our code. So minimap-highlight-selected, and then the last one we're going to use is highlight-selected. And I'm going to click packages again. And you should see the very top option here is highlight-selected. Again, I don't have the option to install it because I've already installed it, so you can go ahead and install that one. Once your packages are all installed, you are ready to start creating some P5 JavaScript files. So what we're going to do is we are going to jump over to the p5.org website. So when you get there, you should see this page here. And we're going to download. So I just jumped to the download section, and we're going to download P5JS complete. So that's going to give us our entire library, everything we need to do, or everything we need, to work with the JavaScript files. And you're going to download them. And you should get a file folder eventually that has all of this information in it. Now, this is what was offered at the time of the recording of this video. It may have changed a little bit now, and I'll try and update it should it change, but these are the files that we're going to need to create all of our projects. And this one here is, well, they're all important, but this is the one that we're going to be using every single time. They give you a template to work from. So every time we make a project, we're going to use this empty example folder, and if I go inside of it, you're going to see index.html and sketch.js. What happens is we're actually making web files. So when we go on the internet to actually view these, we're going to open up the index.html file, and what it's going to do is call on the sketch file. So it's going to call on your JavaScript and show it on the internet. So these are all the files that you should have downloaded. And again, just pause if you're trying to keep up with the video. Pause the video, get the files, get everything installed, and then continue on once you're ready to go. So once you have all the files and it's all installed, we're going to jump back over to Atom. And because I'm done with all the settings, I'm just going to come up here to the tab and close it. And you're going to see here on the side, I have a project window, or it's tree view, where I can see a listing of all my folders that I want to work with. If you don't see this, just by clicking on View and toggle Tree View, that will get turned on. So you're going to be able to see all the files that you're working with within a folder. So you can see here I've been working with some Python files, so it keeps them all nice and neat there for me so I can work with them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add that P5 folder that we just created. I'm going to right click anywhere in here where there's nothing, and I'm going to jump down to Add Project Folder. Now it's going to ask you, well, what folder do you want to add? And conveniently enough, I'm pointing right to the P5 folder. The way I did that, and I'll go back a level just to show you. So here's my folder right here that I want to add. Everything I need is right here. So I'm going to double click on it. You'll notice the folder says P5. That's the one I just downloaded. And I have the option to select it. So I'm going to click Select Folder. And you can see now that whole folder has been added. There's the add-ons folder, empty example, p5.js, and p5min.js. Once you have that all set up, you are ready to move on and create your very first P5 file, which we're going to do in our next video.